What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Lazarus Planet, We Once Were Gods. This is the second one-shot connecting the Lazarus story together. Yet another one-shot with 3 or 4 individual different stories inside of it. We are watching how the world changes with this magical Lazarus rain falling from the heavens. From Aquaman to Martian Manhunter, from Wonder Woman to Mary Marvel, we are seeing that the DC landscape is changing in very drastic ways. Some people are getting powers, others are being depowered, the Justice League being disbanded, Nightwing taking over as the global leader of defense, and this reign has no sign of stopping. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we jump into this one shot, we are picking up with some random individuals. A man, his wife, his daughter, and some other people that are just trying to get out of all of the chaos. Ever since that volcano erupted, ever since this Lazarus rain started falling from the sky, the world has been turned upside down. This rain having the power to depower Kryptonians, but give random individuals powers, those that never had them before. And with these people making their escape, their safe house just so happens to be on the ocean. As this family walks along the ocean, they run into 3 individuals, being swept up onto shore by the current, gasping for breath. They were only able to save one of them, grabbing hold of him and bringing him inside. They strap him down to the couch just in case. The world has turned upside down. They don't know who this is, what he is capable of, or what he might do. And while other individuals in the house, they are very much opposed to the idea of tying this guy up, thinking that it is excessive, thinking that they have gone too far. But the owner of the house, letting them all know that this is all his property, his decision. This is when the stranger wakes up, waking up, finding himself strapped down. In a panic, he is able to break the straps. Moving very quickly, we see him take one guy and throw him against the glass, holding him upside down by the throat. We can see how truly powerful this guy is. But that is when the owner of the house, he takes his rifle and he gunbutts this individual, smacking him across the face. This doesn't keep him down. We see him get back up and he bites the man. In that moment, he also sees his reflection. He sees the monster that he is. The battle making its way outside. This is where we have the arrival of Aquaman. As the owner of the home comes out with his rifle and tries putting down this guy, that is where Aquaman steps in and lets him know to stop. Talking to the owner of the home, he lets it be known that he also used to fear these individuals, but their actions are obscuring their true humanity. The only thing that he wants to do is protect and feed his family just like you do. But with that volcano eruption, things in the world have changed. These people have come out of the trenches, and now Aquaman can see them for who they truly are. These are his ancestors. That is what takes us to our next story. That is what takes us to Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter sitting in the upper atmosphere, looking down at the world. As he looks at this world, he can see the pattern of emotions. Every single little individual, thousands of emotions lighting up one after the other, saying that there is almost a rhythmic method to how all of it operates. That there is beauty in all of this just like there is beauty in music. But ever since the Lazarus rain had ravaged the earth, all he can see is the suffering that it has inflicted. But observing the world, this is where he sees one individual. That individual being Raphael. And that is because Raphael, he goes to the hospitals ever since the Lazarus rain started falling. he has found himself with a unique new ability. He has the ability to take away people's pain. He takes away their pain and he puts it into his own. He takes it all on. So far, he has helped 327 people, but he knows that he can do more because he can hear all of the suffering. The only thing he wants to do is help these people, to take away all of their pain. But before he is able to make it any further, he collapses down to the ground. He is in excruciating pain. That is where Martian Manhunter flies down. He commends him for doing everything that he is doing, but these empathetic powers, this ability to take others' pain as his own, it is too much. This is when Martian Manhunter goes to share the burden with him. But when he touches the boy, he sees the evil day the city faced against Doomsday. This memory, it is very much alive. Somehow, this kid has tapped into the memory of Doomsday, with Doomsday being able to reconstitute himself from whatever was left over after death. It is seeming that even a memory is enough for him to reproduce himself. Fearing that this kid's mind might be torn to shreds, Martian Manhunter goes to try and imprison Doomsday in his own psyche. Reaching out and touching the boy again, we see Martian Manhunter transformed. He had every intention of containing Doomsday. Instead, his memory had found a purchase inside of Martian Manhunter's brain. His telepathic physiology gave him new ideas to spread like a disease, going through the psychic webs of this world in search of resurrection. This is where Raphael is able to get up to his feet, planting his feet on the ground. He lets Martian Manhunter know that he is taking all of this back. And if you can imagine the psychic heat of Doomsday's rage, the crushing weight of everything endured, all of this trying to be contained inside of one human. Raphael took all of this in, and he used it against Doomsday. But in those moments, we saw Raphael transform. He was crushed down into a psychic gem of blood and pain. He allowed his flesh to become a small diamond-shaped form, dense enough to absorb the living memory of Doomsday. That is where we have Martian Manhunter that is showing this gem to Superman, letting him know what happened. That if Raphael had not done this, the world, the universe could have experienced chaos unlike anything seen before. In this very sad moment, Martian Manhunter goes ahead and he asks Superman a question, asking him, with all of his power, all of his vision, all of his senses, can he see the patternless patterns of emotion rippling off of the surface of the earth? This is something Superman has never been able to fully see, to fully understand. But Martian Manhunter lets him know that there are no songs among them today. And that is what will take us to our final story. This is the price of eternity. We are picking up with Mary Marvel, with her currently being the new champion of Shazam. That is because Billy has been out of the picture for a moment. But Mary Marvel has arrived at this location today in Washington, D.C. because she is looking for Black Adam, needing to have a conversation with him. This is where we have Malik, who shows his face. And Malik is the heir to Black Adam. Now, Mary Marvel had a vision. She first believed that it was a vision of Black Adam, but now she is learning that it was Malik. As Hoppy the Rabbit begins to talk to Malik, Malik is freaking out just a little bit. Having a rabbit who is sitting here talking to him, it's a little bit extreme for him. But once he comes to terms with it, we learn the truth. She lets it be known that Billy, the former Shazam, or Captain Marvel, whichever name you want to call him by, he has been trapped in the Rock of Eternity. He is bound to it for all time. But ever since the green volcano had exploded, magic is going crazy. For the first time in centuries, any spell, curse, binding that is tied to the Rock of Eternity, it can be broken. And so they believe that this is their opportunity to go and free Billy from this prison. Now, it does take a little bit of convincing, but Malik is finally on board. We see him transforming into his costume. The two of them, they head up into the sky. That is when Mary Marvel tries to use her powers, yelling Shazam. She tries to break the Rock of Eternity. She did this same exact thing at the Tower of Fate. Now at the Tower of Fate, this had actually worked. She was hoping that it would also work again by blowing a hole right open in the Rock of Eternity. Unfortunately, this had only left her in a weakened state. But that is when we see a doorway open up. The three of them make their way inside. But once they get inside, they see that something is very off here. Mary Marvel had yelled Shazam right as she was going through the doorway. And so while she is powered up yet again, her powers are also fading inside of the Rock of Eternity. So at least for the time being, flight is out of the question. As they look around, they see that there is something very wrong about everything inside. That is when Billy comes to them, letting them know that they are not supposed to be here. Mary flying up to him, even though she did technically just say that flight is out of the question. We see her go up to him. Her hand goes right through his chest because this is just an illusion of Billy. And Billy is letting them know that they cannot stay, that they have to leave. That is where multiple more illusions of Billy show up on site, telling them that he can't go home, but they cannot stay here. With a little help from Malik, Mary Marvel is able to find her way to Billy. Billy currently chained up, telling her that she should have never come, that she needs to leave now before it is too late, because the Rock will never let you go. That is when we have green chains that wrap around Mary Marvel. That when that Lazarus rain had hit the Rock, it warped the binding to keep him here. It's not just a spell anymore, but it is bigger, it is hungrier, and anybody who shares the power from the wizard Shazam, they will be trapped forever inside the Rock of Eternity. But that is where we have Malik showing up, Billy believing that he will never be able to escape, that they have to leave him behind. But Malik says that that's not an option, that they're not leaving anybody behind, and if someone has to be trapped in here, why does it have to be you? That is where Billy says, Shazam! He takes the Rock of Eternity and he puts it into himself. He was able to absorb the rock into his own body. And so while he's not technically free from the Rock of Eternity, they are tied together, and he can use the Rock of Eternity to call upon his other form. The Rock of Eternity, it is now part of Billy, as Billy rejoices, saying hello to all of his friends as they return home. We see off in the distance an individual that is very much not happy about how things just played out. That Billy's actions had severed his connection to the Rock of Eternity, locked him out of his seat of power. This appears to be the wizard Shazam, and he believes that none of them are worthy of having this power. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I was really hoping that Lazarus Planet would be more than just one-shot short stories introducing us to what is eventually going to happen. I was hoping that this event might be a little bit bigger, that they were going to start off 2023 with just a bang. Because I've been saying it for a while, this comic channel has been up for about 3 years now, and Marvel has hugely dominated the market, at least in my personal opinion, when it comes to just amazing storytelling. But I've been trying to give DC the benefit of the doubt. Being a longtime DC fan, I really want their stories to mean something, to start popping out more. I was hoping that after Dark Crisis with the dawn of DC, that we could get some really truly amazing stories. So far, Lazarus Planet is not that story. There are some interesting ideas that I would love to see fleshed out, but after what I have seen so far from the Lazarus Planet events, I am not convinced that DC is yet headed in the right direction, at least when it comes to the main continuity. The only thing that I am truly excited for is Nightwing, finally getting the recognition that he deserves. Finally, the Titans stepping up and taking the role of the Justice League. We are ushering in a new era, and I, for one, I hope DC can truly stick the landing. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Lazarus Planet, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on so far in this event. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.